Welcome back, Lisa Rinna. I've missed you so much since your family packed their bags, loaded them in your mouth, and skipped town.
And does it match the blood you found inside Mr. Simpson's Bronco?
Yes, it's all from the same individual.
Then you mean all this time we could have been friends?
Judges your score.
Tell us what you don't like about yourself.
I'd like to go to Dreamland.
I'll take you there.
Who are you?
I'm Constance Langdon, and this is my fucking house.
Hey everybody, welcome back to the Ryan Murphy Project, a podcast where we take a look at the life and career of one of TV's most prolific showrunners. I'm Eric.
And I am Andrew.
Welcome to this is episode 6, but this is our 5th review, our 5th pilot, our 5th Ryan Murphy show. And
what a fifth it was.
What a 5th it was. They say the 5th is always the most dangerous.
Oh.
No, I made that up.
I believed you. Right.
This week, we are looking at The New Normal, Ryan Murphy's first sitcom on NBC.
Yeah, NBC. So it aired on NBC from September 10th, 2012 to April 2nd, 2013. So this was a one-season show.
Yeah, we only got 22 episodes of this baby, and we will never see it again. So yeah, that's it. We got one season.
That's it, bitch.
Yep. Sorry.
No,
NBC
I
canceled it after 1 year.
That's probably, other than Popular, that's probably the only time that a show of Ryan's has been canceled literally after one season. Popular at least got 2 seasons.
Well, Scream Queens was canceled after 2.
Oh, fuck. It was.
That's what I'm saying. Everyone's like, oh, hit, because you love it, because you like it, because you miss it. But some of these bitches were canceled.
Scream Queen seems like it was 5 seasons to me.
That's next week's episode, Scream Queens. I'm
I
so
know,
excited
I
for
can't
Scream
wait
Queens.
for that. Me too.
But yeah, so The New Normal aired on NBC. And I got to say, just before we get into everything, it did not feel like an NBC show.
No, you don't think so?
I mean, it felt like that in the sense of how it looked, but it was like it pushed the envelope on a lot of things that they said.
Very much, I know.
I thought
I'm
Glee was
surprised.
problematic. Holy shit.
I wrote that in my notes. I was just like, this is just a problematic show.
Yeah.
Like, every single thing, I can understand why it got canceled.
Yeah.
I'm surprised
in the first
that it wasn't
episode,
on...
I was like, wow, I could see this not making it on NBC.
I was like, problematic. I can't believe that they must have just picked it up from series, because I wouldn't have picked it up from a pilot.
No, they picked it up from a pilot first. I can read a little bit about the conception here. Yeah. On January 27th, 2012, NBC officially ordered the project to pilot, which was co-written by executive producers and co-creators Ryan Murphy and Ali Adler, while being directed by Murphy. Ali Adler worked on a few different Ryan Murphy shows. I know she wrote on Glee for a while, and then after Glee and after The New Normal, she actually co-created Supergirl with fellow Glee alum Melissa Benoist.
Oh, okay. That's cool. I like that.
Yeah. So Ali has had a great career. She's an iconic television writer, actually. Casting began in January 2012. First was Andrew Reynolds was cast to play Brian Collins, one half of the gay couple. Ellen Barkin was cast next as Jane Forrest, Goldie's Republican grandmother. Justin Bartha and Georgia King both then joined the series. Bartha plays David Bartholomew Sawyer, the other half of the aforementioned gay couple. And King joined the cast as Goldie Clemens, a cash-strapped waitress and mother who becomes Brian and David's surrogate. Bebe Wood followed with her cast in the role of Shania Clemens, Goldie and Clay's daughter. Nene Leakes was the last actor cast as Rocky, Brian's assistant.
Yeah, but that's what really drew me to the show, Nene.
Yeah, I mean, just seeing her in this all-white sitcom.
I know it's well. Nene came over here because she was on Glee, and then Ryan must have liked her, and then we're like, hey, come over to this show.
Yeah,
I mean, this was a whole storyline on The Real Housewives of Atlanta. Her being in Hollywood, all that stuff.
So there's
her moving out there for the show. Ryan actually appeared on The Real Housewives of Atlanta when Nene first got into The New Normal, actually. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Wow.
They're meeting at lunch and stuff like that.
We have to watch that episode.
Oh, my God, let's.
Oh, my God. the last week of each cycle is going to be so fun and gay. It's like I was just watching random shit. Yeah, so that's interesting.
So we have Nene. Who else do we have in the cast?
Ellen Barkin, who I recognize, but I can't remember what I know her from. I think I keep just confusing her with Holly Hunter.
She's like she's on like a TNT show or something that I see like trailers for whatever TV show.
Why'd you say it like that? A TNT show.
Oh, because it's a TNT show.
Oh, what a little bitch! What a little basic cable snob. So let's get into the pilot of the new normal then here. Do you want to read the pilot description?
All right, David and Brian are a Los Angeles couple with successful careers and a committed, loving relationship, but they want a baby. After some disastrous attempts at finding a surrogate, ain't that right, into their lives, Goldie, a single mother from Ohio's, who's looking to start over in California with her 8-year-old daughter, Shania. Shania? That's how you say her name?
Uh-huh.
Shania. Goldie specifically wanted to be a surrogate for a gay couple, and Brian and David couldn't be happier until Goldie's conservative grandmother Jane arrives to bring her and Shania back to Ohio.
That's basically the pilot, actually.
Yeah.
So that's the episode. Thank you for listening.
All right. Come back next week.
No, so
That was a horrible summary. I'm sorry, America and other countries that listen.
I love that you always include other countries. You're really banking on us having an international following.
We can't assume that it's just going to be America.
Of course not. Yeah. Let's get into our recap and review of the pilot. So the first scene we see is Andrew Reynolds and Nene in Andrew's office. He's making a video. She's helping him work his FaceTime so he can record this.
Yeah, so Andrew Reynolds, I know he was he can sing. He's like a Broadway person.
He was in Book of Mormon.
I just know him from he played somebody on Girls.
Yes.
Did you ever see that Girls on HBO? And that's what I was like, I love that guy.
Yeah. I never saw Girls, but I know he was on it.
He's also, have you ever seen Big Mouth on Netflix?
Yeah.
He's like the little gay character on there too. He voices that. So I was excited to see him.
Yeah, so we see that they have like a little fun relationship. She's his assistant, and he's trying to record a video for his future child to let them know how much he loves them and how hard they fought to get them.
Yeah, which I feel like for whatever reason when I was watching it, I was like, this is so 2012.
Mm-hmm.
Just saying.
Yep.
That's it.
It seems appropriate since it was.
Right? Like a video for your baby. I don't know.
So then he says, well, let's back up and I'll tell you how this all happened. And we cut to Ohio, which I think is actually Lima, Ohio. I think they specifically...
Oh, really?
Okay, so I have to tell you. So you can find this, I think, on NBC or somewhere. But I was so obsessed with Ryan Murphy at this point that I actually bought this pilot before I watched it on iTunes and then never watched it.
Oh, why?
I don't know. I bought the pilot and then just never watched it.
You're just like, I'm supporting you.
Yeah.
I'm supporting you, Ryan.
That's all I was doing. I was like, I'm going to support his new show. And I never watched it. So I actually watched this for the first time in my iTunes. I saw that it was in there.
Oh, you did? Oh, okay.
But yeah, I think, I don't know if I read that somewhere or there was like a title card or something. I don't know, but I feel like where they're at, where they flash back to is Lima, Ohio. Maybe Ryan said that in an interview.
Cinematic
I don't know.
universe.
Yeah, which I like. And then we see this really problematic scene where we introduce Ellen Barkin, Goldie, and Shania. They're in a car at a stoplight.
The family of blondes, basically. That's what I had written down. And they're at a stoplight, and this whole scene is basically dedicated to like racist old grandma who delivers it in a funny way, so you sympathize.
Yeah. Like she's just silly.
So, and then when they're in the car, they see two lesbians walking down the street holding a baby, just enjoying it.
Yeah.
Remember? Mm-hmm. And then she said, all I have written down is that the grandma says,
Would you look at that?
just strutting down the middle of Buckeye Road in broad daylight, proud as gay peacocks.
Why shouldn't they be, Nana?
Don't call me that. I don't look old enough to be a grandmother.
Great-grandmother.
I happen to love the gays. I could never get my hair to look this good without them.
Seems like they love each other as well.
Oh, and now with the PDA, those ass campers have some nerve.
Nana, those are lesbians.
Those are ugly men.
My God.
Those are
I
three
know, so-
of the problematic things that we heard in this first 3 minutes of the show, which I think we can already use our amazing sound effect, because these are definitely the most problematic moments of the episode, I think. And it doesn't get any better, really, but, you know, to kick it off this way, I think makes it even more problematic.
Because I don't really think that she's like saying anything here. I don't know. I'll talk about her a little later.
I mean, now seems like the best time.
Because she says other stupid shit.
Yeah.
You know? And then it just makes me think, like, well, why is Ryan... Why? Do we just, like, need a villain? Is it, like... This is coming off the heels of Sue Sylvester being, like, a breakout character of Glee.
Yeah.
So in a lot of ways, she's like Sue. Thank God they cast this actress who could deliver the lines and is very gorgeous. And for some reason, you know her from somewhere. But I think it's like, it's overall, it's like, well, why add this? Because other dramas like This Is Us, for instance, don't need all of that.
Yeah.
Don't need it like from the jump of her just like kind of railing into gay people. It's like, I don't know, it just confused me.
I feel like he was trying to appeal to an audience that actually doesn't like gay people through a character they can laugh
audience.
with and at, you know? And I feel like that's fucked up. And I feel like they know what they're doing in that regard.
Yeah.
And, you know, they know that kind of character tracks because they're saying things that homophobic people wish they could say. And they know they're going to get a reaction out of it, you know? It's a reactionary character that, I don't know, maybe we'll see evolves and changes and becomes something else. But to make that the entire villain is her grandmother,
I know,
is an interesting choice.
And then when we get to her backstory, it's just kind of like, oh God.
Yeah, which is like yeah, we'll talk about that part later. So the daughter and the granddaughter are in the car defending the lesbians and like basically telling her she's homophobic, but Nana's just wild, so she's not really listening to any of that anyway.
No, she don't care. She's just going.
And then Goldie says she forgot something back at the house, so they go back to their house, and Goldie walks in on her boyfriend / daughter's father, I assume.
Yeah, I think so.
Cheating on her.
And then she said, I was gone 6 minutes. what was she hiding in the bushes? And then the girl who is riding her husband is like, tool shed.
Yeah, she was.
It's like...
She was actually riding him like in an NBC show. That was another moment where I was like, "This is NBC."
Oh, okay.
You know?
Huh? Yeah.
I don't know. That was pretty graphic for like a sitcom on NBC.
Oh.
Not to be a prude, but you know, I wouldn't expect it. I enjoyed it.
Basic cable bitch.
I know. That's not even cable, bitch. So she thanks him and she's like, "This is the last push I needed to fucking leave your ass and go do something for myself." She felt like she's been trapped in this relationship. So seeing him cheat on her was like a moment that she was able to break free, she thought.
Yeah, and it's like, well, then go, girl. Also, from what I could tell, cute husband.
Cute, yeah.
He's kind of like dumb hot.
Yeah.
You know, like
because like he barely talks or like defends himself or.
Yeah, like at one point he's in the background and he's just like playing with the guitar. And that's why I'm like, never with musicians. Oh, I'm not even. No, I'm gonna pull back because I can't ostracize musicians who listen. But I just personally would never date one.
Okay. Hey. First you came for the Gen Z.
I'm not gonna go to your random bar and hang out with all the other band girlfriends and pretend like I like your music. No.
Wow.
Yeah, cut all of that. But that's exactly how I feel.
So then the Goldie goes back to the car and she's crying, and Nana's like, what happened? And she tells her that she caught him cheating on her. So Nana goes in the house.
Yeah, and then I was like, okay, cool, that's gonna be fun. And then Nana comes in the house and she pulls out a gun.
Mm-hmm. Tiny little, cute, little fancy gun.
Yeah. And what does she threaten him with?
You, Hello Kitty, out.
Oh, hey, that is a toy, right?
You know something, Clay? I have put up with you for the past 9 years. I put up with your ridiculous Fozzie Bear impersonations, with your self-diagnosed narcolepsy.
No, that's real. It's not just Nats.
I can't think of anything else to do except to kill you. Now, unfortunately, I couldn't live in prison without my lean cuisine. So I am open to other options.
But while that's going on, Goldie steals their car, and she's like, where have you always wanted to go? She turns to Shania. She's like, let's get the fuck out of this place. Let's fucking beat it. Where have you always wanted to go? And Shania says, Hawaii. So she says, I think we can get to Honolulu on a tank of gas.
And then I wrote, I said, lead blonde is a dreamer.
She's a dreamer.
She's a dreamer.
She's
dreaming about driving to Hawaii with Shania. You know, it's like, okay.
So then, title card, and they drive off. And then we meet Andrew Reynolds and Justin Bartha's characters a little more. Andrew was suddenly baby crazy because he saw a baby at the department store.
173 pounds. He is going to be a star.
Bri, we have to talk about your dieting. Honey, when I saw that miniature person, whose skin was flawless, by the way, I really got it. I want us to have baby clothes and a baby to wear them. Sweetie, you know you can't return a baby to Barney's. David, look, you are the kindest man I've ever had the pleasure to love. You would be an amazing father.
He's likable shallow, if anything.
Yeah, and
Andrew Reynolds does a great job of portraying this guy.
And as a couple, I like them as a couple. They seem to be very happy. They don't. I like that. The one thing I do like about this show is that the drama isn't centered around the couple's problems, which have seemed to be the case for the previous shows.
Yeah, no, you're right. Good point there. Yeah, there seems to be like real love.
Yeah.
And, right, Andrew Reynolds is supposed to be a thinly veiled Ryan Murphy.
Yeah, so that's something I think we can talk about here, because how much is this based on his life with his husband? Because he has two kids, one on the way? Two kids, three on the way?
Did they just announce they're having another baby?
I don't know. I'm going to look it up because I feel like they did. Yep. According to The Independent, Ryan Murphy is set to become a father for the third time. The American Horror Story creator has revealed he and his husband David Miller will become parents to a baby boy in August this year. The new arrival will join their other two sons, Logan, 7, and Ford, 5. They were both via surrogate. So we know that part's true, at least. You know, that this is based on, their surrogate journey.
So it's like, oh, I'm going through surrogacy. This would be a great show. And I guess it would.
Yeah, sure.
There's something interesting.
It's a take
about
that wasn't on
this.
TV, you know?
Yeah, no.
It's a gay story that
right.
isn't about coming out. But then they had the villain that is homophobic, and it's kind of reverts back to being a stereotypical show. But so then I have parent VOs. Oh, that's right.
Oh, okay. So then, Brian and David are at the park.
Yeah.
They're discussing having a baby. They're both into the idea. And then all of a sudden, they just start kind of having like one of those funny moments where the moms that are playing on the little playground are doing their sort of personal spiels.
They're looking at the
BOs?
cameras and doing monologues. And
that's it.
completely breaking the fourth wall and looking to us and telling a story about their journey through motherhood, which is 100% the most Ryan Murphy moment of the episode, I think.
Ryan!
Aside from Ellen Barkin's character, I feel like this break of the fourth wall is so
there's like
suddenly whimsical, you know?
Yeah. What were some of the interviews that they said? Oh, one mom's like,
I was a whore for a long time. I mean, I've slept with everyone. I acted like a kid for too long, just wasn't ready to have one. By the time I was ready, I couldn't find the right man. When I gave up looking for him, I found me. And then with the help of a lot of drugs, them. Hey, where are you?
Well, my husband's regular sized, so there's a 50% chance of my daughter would be a part-time Christmas elf like me. I told my husband we didn't have to have kids. We didn't have to risk it. My husband said that he loves me, so why wouldn't she be loved in this world? She's gonna be taller than me this year.
Face it, honey. Abnormal is the new normal.
And then she gets in a Hot Wheels car, like one of those motorized cars with her daughters. Yeah. Like
So,
Jeeps,
'cause- yeah,
and
exactly.
drives
Hold
off,
on, let's-
which is
let's
another
talk about
Ryan
that for a
Murphy thing.
second. Because it's actually like a really nice story. And,
Yeah.
And you know what I mean? Until the fucking ending. She's
Yep.
like, we were worried about her height, whether she, you know, if there was going to be any difficulties. And I was like, oh, okay, I'm really living for this.
Uh-huh.
And then all of a sudden she gets into a little fucking children's car and then drives off. And I'm just like, but why? But why?
But then
Just
I
let
thought
that
to
moment
myself,
breathe.
if she lived close to the park, would you just do that?
Don't. I can't. No.
Like if I
No.
if I was a little person, I lived across from the park, and my daughter wanted to take that car to the park, and I fit, I would get in.
No. No. That's it. No.
I think that they used it for the wrong reasons, and that's why it's wrong. But I'm just thinking in real life.
No, because if anything, you. No.
Say it, bitch.
No, nobody likes to be embarrassing. To be embarrassed, and
That's what I'm saying,
an
and that's what
embarrassing
they
thing.
use it for.
Yeah, but in real life, like
in real
you're
life,
saying,
I don't know. I wouldn't. Why you're? I don't know. I don't think that's embarrassing. I don't think that's embarrassing.
Abnormal is the new normal, so
Exactly, and that's what she leaves off on, like a good note. And that's like kind of like the push and pull you get with a Ryan Murphy show, you know? A beautiful sentiment capitalized by a wacky fucking moment that kind of underscores it, you know?
Say it.
And that's the gospel according to Ryan. And then we jump into the adoption worker, talking to them about their options. The adoption worker, played by Michael Hitchcock, I think his name is, was actually a writer on Glee as well.
Okay. He kind of seems like
Sandy Ryerson.
Sandy. Yeah. not to give that bitch any more airtime.
Every episode, we are mentioning Sandy Ryerson.
Talking about Sandy. He seems like a Sandy to me. He's talking fast.
Yeah.
They're basically like on a dating app for surrogacy.
Yes.
And a lot of shit goes down. What he's saying, he was just like, I have here not a fatty at some points. One of them.
Yeah, he was also saying a few problematic things. And then he brought up the question that obviously they haven't talked about yet, which was who is going to be the biological father.
Oh, yeah, they probably should have talked about that.
Yeah. But then they both were like, me. Cut to act 3 or 2, wherever we're at.
Do you think that you would have kids?
I don't want kids, I don't think.
I don't think that I would want. I go back and forth every day, actually, whether I want kids or not in my life. I feel like there is something interesting about like genetics of me like passing on my DNA and stuff.
Yeah, but I don't want to have a baby just because I'm curious of how it would look, you know?
Well, what are you trying to say?
But that's what I mean.
So
like
just
every reason I want a baby, it's a selfish reason. And then I look back and I'm like, I don't want a baby for selfish reasons. So I'm definitely not ready to be a parent. But also, I just don't think I don't want to be.
But if I ever like had to, I would.
How would you have to?
If I had to like
You're gay.
raise my
It's not
cousin
like you're actually
or
going to
something.
get. Yeah, like if I
You
ever
know,
had
like-
to raise my nephew or something, absolutely. 100%.
Yeah,
I would put everything aside to do that.
For sure, but
I have a choice, fortunately, and my choice right now is no. Thank you.
And thank God, because if I were straight, I feel like I would have a lot of kids.
Yeah.
Knowing my track record and my inability to put my dick away. But like,
Horny little bitch.
Cut that.
out. Don't let them know I'm a slut. That's saved that for episode 30.
I know. Well, then they're going through the selection process, and then they're kind of like meeting the potential surrogates.
One of the first selections we see is fucking Gwyneth Paltrow.
And Gwyneth's like, I've been told that I look like Gwyneth Paltrow a lot. And then they're like, we want that one.
Yeah.
We're white gays.
Yeah.
We want Gwyneth.
Yeah, but there was also somebody. What did they say?
Oh, I mean, this is just like in the theme of the show. They're looking at the surrogates, and then I don't know what she just said at one point. She's like, "I've had 9 abortions, but I want to give you my first one."
Yeah,
you know, like something along those lines. I was like,
It's like you didn't have to like make them that bad to
No,
make us
I
not want them
know.
as a surrogate. You know.
Oh, and then I want one stupid ass thing too is just like, I've lost 100 pounds. Just
Oh,
100
yeah,
pounds to go. It's like
I don't want a fat surrogate.
I know. Yeah. What the? No.
Like we said, very problematic. So then we cut to Goldie and Shania at the beach, and Nana calls them. She says she called the cops on Goldie for stealing her car because she had to take the bus and sit next to a person with one arm.
Yeah. So Nana calls Goldie and Shania at the beach having their moment. She's like, I sat on the bus next to a guy with no hands who was drinking out of a cold cylinder, and why am I always punished in this world? But she's having this whole sort of conversation, and she's a realtor. Of course she's a realtor. And then the lady's like, does this have a walk-in closet or whatever the hell she's saying? She's like, just I'm dealing with this. And then other than that was probably, as much as I dislike her, that was probably the best part of the scene because I was I'm bored when people are just sitting at a beach talking about dreams.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I was just like,
I don't dislike Goldie and Shania, but I don't care about them at all.
I also don't care.
So yeah, they're talking about their dreams and skip all scenes with the surrogate.
Clip.
And but we find out in this scene that Goldie's dream is to become a lawyer, and that she wants to stay in LA with Shania, and they want to try to make this dream happen. She's not coming home, she tells her. And then we cut back to an interview with the dads, and who do they interview? Another Ryan Murphy staple.
This was the nicest little surprise because then they're interviewing their surrogate and they love her. And guess who it is? Leslie Grossman.
Leslie Grossman from Popular. Now, this is the thing. This is her first appearance in a Ryan Murphy project since Popular.
Yeah.
So at this point, still looks the same. Still looks gorgeous.
Exactly the same. Just 2012, you know?
11 years later, looks the same.
Yeah. No, I love it. I was really happy to see her, and she just like totally did everything wrong that a surrogate shouldn't do.
Yep.
She's like ordering raw fish. She's like, do we have an ashtray?
She pulls out a pack of cigarettes. Yeah.
Like
she says she wants them to buy her a BMW. So basically, she's extorting them, so that she keeps their baby safe, while also collecting cars and threatening to give their baby cancer.
So funny.
And then we cut back to Gary at the adoption agency apologizing. And then he goes, Celine Dion gave her a great recommendation.
I know. How dare you?
How dare you fucking besmirch Celine Dion? Ryan Murphy never shows Celine Dion this respect she deserves.
No, he
not
don't.
In Glee.
He always slide disses her. So
put some respect on Celine's name.
So that at some point, Goldie had a revelation that she wanted to give. She wanted to be a surrogate. So then they all meet here, right?
Yeah. So I guess she applies to the surrogate agency to become one because after that rampage that Nana had against that lesbian couple, because the lesbian couple was holding their baby, Goldie took notice of that. So I think that was kind of where the seed was planted.
Sure.
And then she realized, well, if I want to be a lawyer and stay in California, I need money. I'll become a surrogate for a gay couple. So she meets David and Brian.
I had written down that this scene was actually really good when Goldie and Shania... Oh, Shania wasn't there yet.
I don't think so.
It don't matter. When Goldie met David and Brian, I felt like there was a lot of sweet energy
Yeah, there's a good group chemistry there.
Yeah, and that I was definitely picking up on that.
They ask her why she wants to be a surrogate to a gay couple, and she says, I overheard a deranged homeless woman talking about a lesbian gay couple once. Talking about Nana.
Talking about her fucking... And then the cut scene was really funny because, like, the lesbian couple are looking at Goldie, and there's a sign of respect, and then Nana's just, like, flailing her arms about in the background. It's like, God.
Yeah, another great directed episode by Ryan. We've said it before. We'll say it again. Great television director. And then we
say it before me.
And then we have a sweet scene in bed with Brian and David where Brian tells David that he can be the biological father.
Let me just say something. I don't care for any sort of love scenes in like anything.
Okay.
Like when like
bold.
I get really bored when it's just like a lovey-dovey scene. I'm like, okay, I can pick up my phone now.
Yeah.
And I don't know why. And it's like, obviously I love whatever, relationships are great.
I love whatever, but like
I'm just like, as soon as they start kissing and talking close in a pillow, I'm like, all right, well, what else is on? What else is going on? So I don't even remember this scene, which I'm sorry.
I'm sorry to hear that. Because this was a sweet scene. So they're in bed.
My heart is ice.
They're in bed, and Brian tells David, this is more important to him because Brian has nephews and nieces already. His line will continue. So he's going to let David be the biological father, Justin Bartha's character. But he sees kind of through it. He's like, you just want to hold this over my head forever, don't you? And Brian's like, yeah.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear what you said. I totally checked out when you were talking about love. I was like looking at my fish.
So then we cut to them deciding that Goldie's going to be the surrogate, and they're in the surrogate hospital injection site.
Yeah, surrogate hospital injection site. Yeah, and David goes back with Goldie to get her injection.
Mm-hmm.
And that was actually nice because those two have a really interesting... They seem level-headed in some sort of way. So then when they're talking to each other, David starts breaking down, and Goldie's like, well, this is your chance to break down.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, David's getting a little nervous about it. He doesn't know if he's ready. And there's a sweet scene, a love scene almost. I'm surprised you watched. Between Goldie and David, where they kind of console each other, and they're both clearly not ready for this, and it's a new thing for both of them, but they're in it together, which is a cute partnership that we see unfold amongst this group, and we counter that partnership with the partnership of Brian and Shania, who are like the fun, goofy, lighthearted children of the group. And it's Shania making fun of Brian's pants.
And then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, I guess after the injection, right? Fucking Nana pops up from Ohio to Los Angeles saying, I've been hot on your trail, bitch. Cut to Nana with her, we never got his name, Goldie's ex-husband's mistress.
This one led me straight to you.
They're in Venice Beach, California. Twitter stamped their location.
You people are so darn good with computers. And thanks for helping build the railroads.
It's like, God,
yeah, so when Goldie and David are back there, a nurse comes up and was like, there's this woman screaming something about it or something like that. And before they get the injection, so Goldie goes out.
Before the injection.
So Goldie goes out and they have like a huge, everybody's there. Nene shows up for some reason. It's her
Nene
only
just pops
second scene in the show.
Oh, just like...
Oh, Brian hauled my ass all the way across town to bring you these damn eggs.
Oh, no. You are not growing one of her kind of eggs in my granddaughter.
Oh, no, sweetie, these are poached.
What the hell you mean, my kind of eggs? The last time I checked, this diamond speckled watch my gay boss bought me without his consent, it was 2012. Now, why don't you take your Callista Gingrich hairdo and your racist mind back to the past or the South where they belong?
Nana, I want to help this family.
I feel like I just ate a black and gay stew right before I fell asleep. This is a nightmare.
No, this ain't a nightmare. But I'm gonna pinch you real good to make sure.
Goldie, have you lost your damn mind? What are you doing helping these salami smokers?
Wow. That's a good one. That's new.
It is so wrong. And have you even thought about what kind of message you are sending your daughter?
That you can be whatever you want to be, no matter how many people tell you that you're nothing.
It is not normal.
The baby I want to carry for David and Brian will have 2 loving parents who desperately want a child. Who are you to say that's not normal?
Because I lived it.
So this is where we find out the backstory. You know, Nana really doesn't want Goldie to do this. She doesn't want her to be a surrogate. She doesn't want her to live in Los Angeles, but specifically she doesn't want her to be a surrogate to a gay couple. And we hear a little backstory that Nana's husband was a gay also.
Yeah.
Okay, here goes. Your grandfather had a friend who worked for him at the pet store for many years.
Uncle Leon with all the puffy hair?
One day my old Chrysler leaked oil all over my driveway, so I had to go down to the pet store and get a bag of kitty litter to soak it up. I walked through the back door, and I saw them together.
Oh, Nana.
Leon stood there with his private parts dangling for all the parakeets to laugh at.
What the hell is she talking about?
That man didn't love me.
So what did you do?
I stayed with him for 10 more years, and I helped him build his Beanie Baby collection. Now, Goldie, I am begging you, please, let's just go get goggles and get back in the car and go home.
I'm sorry, Nana. We're staying. I need to help these guys. And myself.
So Nana's a little butthurt that she got played by a gay. But Goldie basically says, fuck off, I'm doing this, I want to do this. And then Nana and Nene do have a little sparring match.
Mm-hmm.
Which
Nene's
I think will be a fun
back.
dynamic going forward.
Oh my god, me too.
So that'll be good that Nene obviously will keep her in check, because I assume Nana's going to move to LA too eventually, right?
Well, duh.
So then we also, in that scene, find out that Goldie's mom ditched her when she was 8.
Oh, yeah.
So that's just a little backstory we sprinkle into Nana's tyrant speech.
Well, that's the first time
in the middle of a
episode
hospital.
Oh god, I know. A hospital lobby. Let's be honest. This is the first time all of the cast members are together. I thought that was nice.
A nice way to end it. Yeah. But the final scene is Goldie taking the pregnancy test. So she takes the pregnancy test. She comes out of the bathroom. They all surprise her. Brian, David, and Shania surprise her with a brand new suit that they bought her because they want to help her get her law career off the ground. So that's obviously her little journey. She's going to be a lawyer.
She's going to be a surrogate lawyer.
Mm-hmm. In court with a belly bump.
With a belly, like, you're going to respect me and tell me the truth.
But that's like, law school is like a 4-year journey. So I imagine we don't get to see that.
Oh, no.
Because this is only one season.
So.
But it's interesting that they leave this show on a cliffhanger as to whether or not she is actually pregnant. Which, again, I assume she is. Yeah. That's what this whole show's about, right? So it's interesting that they left it on that cliffhanger when presumably there is no cliffhanger. We know she's going to be pregnant, right? Otherwise, what's the show about?
Ryan loves a pregnancy cliffhanger. Let's just say it now if we haven't said it already on this podcast.
But that's what I mean. This isn't even really a cliffhanger.
It's like he made all of his pregnancy storylines into a whole TV show.
Yeah.
And add a lot of gay in it.
I feel like it would have been better to just end this episode, especially with all like the beaten down of gays and like the negativity in this episode. It would have been nice to have it end on her saying I'm pregnant, you know? Just end it on that.
Yeah, that's true. I would have liked that better too.
Right?
Yeah. So what do you think? Is this a peak or a valley? I'm going to say valley. I didn't really like it. I love Nene.
I like the idea of the story. I don't think I'm interested in the characters of the world here.
No, me either.
So I'm going to say neutral. Or do I say valley? It's definitely not peak. So I guess I have to say valley.
Yeah, I guess you have to say valley.
Yeah, it's not a valley.
Well, thank God it's only 25 minutes.
Yeah. This will be our shortest. It's our shortest show. Well, it's not our shortest show, but
probably
it's our shortest in length in episodes. So
yeah,
that'll be nice. We don't have to force ourselves to
over.
watch an hour and a half of the new normal.
Well, I am like, if I was just, I feel like I did watch this show when it came out, or at least something about it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember anything. If I was watching this when it came out in 2012, maybe it was. That's what I'm thinking. I think we're thinking about it from 2020 with 2020 eyes.
Yeah. Which
and probably when it came out
are so different from 2012 eyes now.
2020.
2020, like we seeing clear, bitch.
In 2012, I feel like this was more probably just a plot of like gay parents, you know, which is great. I'm not trying to demean it in any way. It's just like watching it now is a slog. So
yeah, it's a little dated. It did not pass the filters of progress.
Ooh.
Oh, bitch! Trademark. Yeah, like will some of these shows pass what we will call the filter of progress? You know, the Me Too era, the Black Lives Matter movement, white privilege, all this stuff. Like, how does it settle now in 2020 is something I think we definitely will have to consider each week.
Yeah, well, we're gonna put a magnifying glass on this. I'm telling you.
Thank you for listening to The New Normal. We hope you're enjoying the show. Next episode, we're going to dive deep into another one of our... I feel like there's certain shows that, like, encapsulate a moment in my life. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
Where I can remember where I was while this series was running. And Scream Queens next week is one of those. So I'm excited.
Thank God, Emma Roberts. Thank you. Thank you, Emma Roberts. This show is dedicated to you.
Well, follow us on Instagram at the Ryan Murphy Project. Let us know if you have any suggestions or I don't know,
or critiques. I know we randomly drag people. I don't know who I dragged this episode.
If you're somebody we dragged and you want justice, let us know. We'll try to do that for you. Okay, bye.
No, that's not a good one. Bye, everybody. Call me later.